I was like, okay, yes, let's do this. And I think you emailed me back. What was your first question you asked me?
I thought it was just to do like a painted fashion event, like painted denim. What if I
Oh
did
yeah.
some painted denim, but I said I need to bring a couple pieces of art because sometimes at Neiman's, well, I don't, people don't understand the context of like, hey, I'm an artist and I'm trying to apply art to fashion. And so I said I should bring a couple pieces of art so people would understand,
Mhm.
that my real job is an artist, and then I take and paint on denim. And then I think the next day you
Yeah,
said,
I
what if you
slept on
brought a
it.
lot of art or something
Yeah,
like
yeah. I
that?
remember seeing your email and I was like, oh, well, this is great. And everything I do, it has to be like over the top and big. And I slept on it. I remember visualizing, I was like, oh, art gallery in the house. And I had thought about that before I ever heard from you.
Really?
Hmm.
Tell me more about
Well,
this.
I had thought about what if, because I like hosting a lot of fashion events,
Hmm.
what if one day I turn my house into an art gallery and I have an artist that comes in and sells her stuff. So it was like plant like a small thought. Like probably I'm like
Mm.
washing my hair and going, ooh,
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
do like daydream. And
yeah.
so I think that was like implanted in my head. And I see your email, I sleep on it. I was like, oh no, we're going
Oh,
big.
snap. Yeah,
We're not,
yeah.
we're not, we're not just painting on jeans and bringing a piece of art. Like I feel like anyway, I responded back to you. I was like, how about an art gallery or how about several pieces? And I think you had to think about it.
Yeah, because I was kind of like, what are we doing? Is this like, wait a minute? You know what I mean? Like, okay, what's happening? It's all happening so fast. And then I thought about, but I have to tell you, a really good piece of advice that I have learned through this
Mhm.
is we were in the studio and I was talking to my mother-in-law, my father-in-law were
Mhm.
there. And I was telling him, I was like, hey, I met this lady. We're thinking about doing this pop-up art event in her home. We've never really done anything like that. Oh, P.S., by the way, it's in Laguna Beach,
Uh-huh.
California. And, he's like, we're talking and he was like, he's military, ex-military. He said, when we're in the, he said, I'm going to give a piece of advice. Whenever we are given an assignment in the military, we are given that duty and we are to execute that duty no matter what. So you need to decide either yes or no. And if it's yes, you just
This is before you responded to me?
maybe it was a little bit after. Maybe it was a little bit after. I
Okay.
think I said, yeah, I think so.
Uh-huh.
But I was thinking on it and I was still a little uncertain. No, it was before I responded to you because I didn't
Okay.
want to tell you yes if I wasn't certain.
And the
And I just like,
father-in-law stepped
yes.
in.
Well, we were talking it
The
out because,
wisdom.
yes, we were talking it out because there's so many moving parts with, shipping artwork. What shows do we have lined up? What other commitments do I have? I want to make new work for your pop-up, right? It's really important to me that I like do all the things
Okay,
properly,
so what did he say? What did
He
he say to you?
said, so you need to decide if you want to do this. And if you say yes, don't list out any barriers. You're just going to Laguna Beach and you're doing a pop-up and that's that. And because I kept going, okay, well, we have to ship it. If we ship 10 pieces and we crate it, and then, if art sells, we have to crate the art home. We have to custom build those crates. Are we going to stand on this beautiful home and have these tools and recreate artwork? And like, it wasn't all. And he was like, no, you say yes and you just go. You figure it out. You don't list barriers. And so I was like, okay, yes. And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
just here we go.
You know what I've learned over the years? I always say this for fathers and moms, but I always go, moms are always right. Like advice, like my mother, like and my father, like they give me advice and I'm 51 years old. I'm like, why did I listen to them?
Yeah.
Like, why did I actually listen to their advice when I was
Yeah.
in my obviously teenage years, 20s, 30s? I'm like, oh, I'm not going to listen to my parents.
Oh, yeah.
But, you get to a point like your father-in-law gives you this advice and you're like, okay,
Yep.
I'm taking this.
Yep. And my mom's really good about nurturing. Like she's nervous. So, because, the artist, the risk taker, even at 41, I still clearly I take risks.
Uh-huh.
But she's like, okay, honey, are you good? Are you sure? Are you, because it's like from a mom's perspective, hey, mom, so I met this lady online. P.S. I haven't technically met her, but we're going to go to her home in Laguna Beach. I'm going to take my children. out of school. She's going, okay, sweetheart. Okay, so tell me more.
I've never thought about the logistics of what you went through to get here.
And she's like, okay, honey. And like, you know, she's not a scam, right? Or she's real. And I'm like, yes, she's real.
I'm totally crying right now because I've never thought about like what you went through. Austin, Texas to here.
And then, you know, we love, my husband and I and my kids, we love like good old fashioned road trips, you know. So we decided the road was the way. And then even telling my mom, okay, Mom, I'm going to El Paso tonight. She's like, okay, honey, text me when you get there, you know.
Has she called you since you've been here?
I've texted her all along the way, you know. And so she's like, next time I'm going. So tell Ashley next time it's on me. I'm going. You know.
I know. She's like, I'm going to be on the
now
Laguna
that I've
Beach.
made it. Yeah. But I know that she probably didn't sleep for 2 nights.
Oh, totally. She's totally worried about you.
So you're driving through El Paso.
Like, are you in a serial killer's house right now? You think you're doing a podcast and all of a sudden you're getting locked in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
that's hilarious. Okay. So we, after that, I remember doing a Zoom call.
Yeah, we did the Zoom call.
That was like a Zoom and we just totally hit it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We just talked about, okay, this and that and a little bit of logistics. So we decided to expand on the Alice and Olivia thing. So if you guys are listening in the car, we have matching jeans on right now that Ash has painted on. I gotta tell you, we look super cute.
I feel like it.
I know, these are amazing. So Ash is also paints on jeans. She's worked for Alice and Olivia, where she'll go to the studio and then you buy Alice and Olivia jeans and then you paint on them. So I sent her my jeans. By the way, I think they're a little tight on me. I've had too much fun. I'm like sitting here going with my fat roll out a little bit. It's okay. But you make these one-of-a-kind pieces, and what is that? So painting on jeans, what does that do for you? Like what's the joy out of that?
I think it's just making art accessible. Wearable, accessible. I think that art is, you know, one of the things we talked about is like, we don't want the event to be so serious. We want to have fun and we want to have a good time. But I think art is essential to our livelihood and our well-being and our everyday living. And so while having art on jeans, it's, again, people are being able to have that in their everyday living. You know, it's different than just a painting on the wall. It's getting seen, it's getting worn. It's a feeling that it provides somebody when they have these like painted jeans on, you know, it's a vibe. It's that. And so I'm all about just making art accessible for people. I just think it's so important and it's so essential.
I think that's really, I think it's a field that hasn't been tapped into, to combine fashion and art.
Yeah.
Because there's so much you can do. I was on my Instagram story the other day, and I think I was like, I don't know if I guess it's just a story, but I was promoting the event that we're doing. And all of a sudden I thought about my Chanel purse that was painted on. So the quick story is I got my very first Chanel from Joe, and it's like this dark navy blue. And I got it and I was so amazed by it, but then I noticed I wasn't wearing it because of the color. I don't wear a lot of navy. I don't wear a lot of that kind of color. So I just like wasn't wearing it out to dinner. I was like, this is this precious baby sitting in my closet, so sad, and it needs some love. And another reason why I feel like we're so connected is I hire a lady out of Laguna Beach to paint on my Chanel bag.
That's wild.
And I asked her to do butterflies. And like, once again, like,
that's
I feel
amazing.
like this is like such a connection. Like, we totally know each other, which I will say, I told Joe, because this is the first Chanel he ever bought me. This was, I don't know, 12 years ago. And I don't know what it cost back then, $3,500 or something ridiculous. Yeah. And he was like, you're going to do what?
I was going to ask what his thoughts were on this.
He was like, you're getting your Chanel painted on? And I was like, no, honey, you need to trust me. And to this day, now I actually take that bag out and wear that Chanel because it has the butterflies on it.
I love that.
I know. So back to the event. That was the funniest story with your experience. So is there anything else you want to share about how you got here today? You created, how many pieces did you create? What was that like for you? How did it make you feel creating the art the last few weeks for this event?
Um, well, okay, we have, as always, so much going on at one time, right? And it was really a short period of time to create the art. And so I had an intention that I set on every single day: peace, love, and joy. Let me feel peace, love, and joy. Let me put peace, love, and joy into this work, and then let others feel that peace, love, and joy. And so, like, we've had a very chaotic last 2 weeks in our life.